Hey everyone, so today we're going to be learning how to automatically generate and serve Swagger UI documentation for a Node and Express application based on JS comments. So this is what we're going to be building. We have an Express application with an endpoint called API docs, and at this endpoint we have documentation for our full Express API. We can even try out these routes, and this is really useful, and it's becoming a standard now to have good documentation for your API. And Swagger is one of those tools that is very popular for doing that right now. And as you can see over on their website, you can read about it and you can see companies that are using Swagger as well. So let's get started. So I've just opened an empty directory in Visual Studio Code and we're ready to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is initialize our node project using npm init. I'm going to go through this wizard with all the defaults, and this is going to create our project and a package.json file for us. Next, we're going to install our dependencies. So we have a few dependencies here. We have one called swagger.js doc, and as usual you can go over to the npm documentation to see what this actually does, but basically it generates an API specification from JS doc comments in our code. The next one is Swagger UI Express, and this basically allows you to serve the Swagger documentation from your Express web server. And Express, which is probably the most popular web framework for Node, and we also have nodemon, which is going to allow us to hot reload our application whenever changes are detected in a file. It'll just mean we don't need to keep stopping and starting our application. So now that I've installed them, we're going to add a script here called start, and this is going to run nodemon on a file called app.js, and we're going to create that file now, and now we can run npm start, and we won't need to stop and start this again anytime we make changes because we've used nodemon. So now inside our app.js, this is where all of the fun starts. So first of all, we're going to import our three dependencies. So we have Express, so that's the first one. We're going to copy this, and our next dependency is Swagger JS doc, and the last one is Swagger UI Express. Let's rename these to Swagger JS doc and to Swagger UI. Cool. So now we're going to start our Express. We're going to create our Express application using const app equals Express. And then at the bottom we're just going to say app.listen on 5000. And we're just going to say listening on 5000. So now when we save this, we should get this console log that says listening on 5000. And now in the browser, if we go to localhost 5000, we can see that we have something here. So we don't have any routes defined yet, so obviously it can't get the root path. But let's go back, and now we can define our route. So we're going to define our first route. This is going to be a library application. So our first route is going to be /books. And we're going to get a request and send back a response. So now here, if someone makes a request to /books, what do we want to do? We're probably going to be sending them back a list of books. Let's do res.send. So if you were building a natural application here, this is where you might connect to your database and get all of the books. But now this tutorial is just on Swagger UI, Swagger API documentation. So that's what we're going to focus on. So we're going to send back a list of books, an array of books. And the first book, we're just going to give it an ID of 1 and a title of Harry Potter. So if we save that, and we go back to the browser and go to localhost 5000/books, we should get our book back, and we do. So our API is working as intended, but now what if we want some documentation for this API? So as a user, as a client of this application, we might want to know how this books route works, what it returns, if it takes any parameters, what methods it supports, like get, which it does. So this is where Swagger comes in. So first of all, we're going to create our Swagger options. And this is just some options for our application. So this needs to be Swagger definition. And this should all actually be in the Swagger UI Express. We can see here we have options like that. And we need to provide our Swagger options. So this is basically what we're doing. So our Swagger definition, this is going to contain some information about our application. So it's going to have a title, which is just going to be a library API. And we can also give a version. So this is 1.0.0. Sorry, these options would actually be in the Swagger.js doc dependency. So we can see here, this is basically the information that we're providing. So we also need to provide APIs, which is just basically where we're going to get the documentation from. And it's going to be in our current file, app.js. So you could actually provide more than one here if your Express APIs are distributed across multiple files. So that's all we need there. And if we start again, we have no errors, so that's good. And now we're going to define our Swagger docs. And we're going to use our JS doc dependency here, which is going to load our docs using our options, which we pass in. So that's good. But as we can see so far, we have no JS docs on our route. So it's not going to know anything about this route until we provide that. So we're going to give a JS doc comment. And this is going to look something like this. We need to provide a annotation called Swagger to let it know that this is Swagger. And we're going to provide the root, which is /books. And then we're going to say what method we support. So we're just going to say get. And we can give a description of this, which is just going to be get all books. And then we can provide our responses. And our responses that we're going to give is right now just 200. And again, we can give a description for this, which is just going to be success. So if we save that now, Swagger docs now should contain something. So we can actually console.log Swagger docs to see what this looks like. And we can see now we have this object contains a field called paths, which contains information about our books route. So this is good. So now we have our API specification in this Swagger docs variable. So now we need to provide this via an API route. So to do that, we're going to use app.use. And this can be anything we want, but I'm just going to use /API-docs. And then we're going to say Swagger UI.serve. UI.setup. And we're going to pass in our Swagger docs. Like that. So if we save that, we can take out this console.log now. And save again. Now on the /API docs route, we should be getting some documentation. And we can see, yeah. So we have this cool Swagger page we have our name here and our version that we defined, and we have this one route, which is get/books. So we can actually try this out, and we can execute it, and it's going to return what we defined. So this is great. We can actually test out our routes using the Swagger documentation. We can also see the expected responses, and that's great. So this is a simple get route. Let's try something a bit more complicated. So let's say we want users to be able to create new books. So to do that, we will create another route called app.post /books. And again, we're going to have a request and a response. And this time, because we're creating a resource, we're going to send a status code of 200 back. 201, sorry. And again, if this was a real application, you would be creating a book here in your database. So then when someone tries to get the books, they would get all of the books, including the new one. So we've created this route. And if we go back to Swagger, nothing's going to have changed yet, because we haven't provided any JS docs above this. So let's copy this one, and we can make the required changes. So it's still /books, but this time it's a post request, and the description is going to be create a new book. And this time, before responses, we might want to provide some parameters. So if someone is creating a new book, they might need to provide some information about that book, such as the name. So this first parameter has a name of title, so they might need to provide the title. So we can give a description for this parameter, which would just be the title of the book. We can define where they need to provide this information. So for us, they might need to provide it in the form data. We can say if it's required or not. We can say this one is required. And we can also say the type, which is a string. So here we can just give the user loads of information about what they need to provide. So the responses, this time it's going to be a 201 response, and the description is going to be created. So if we save this now and go back to the browser and hit refresh, we now have our second route. And as we can see, it looks really good. So the post requests are in a different color. They're in green. We still have the get request from before, and we have this new post request. And we have our responses that we've defined. And this time, if we try it out, we can see that we actually don't have any parameters here for some reason, but we should. So let's go back and see what we missed. So we actually just misspelled parameters. This should be parameters. So this time, the last time, we didn't have any parameters here. If we refresh, we can actually provide the parameter now. So we can provide the title of the book while executing this. So we can say my book, and we can execute that. So it looks like we actually made another mistake here. So this shouldn't be an uppercase string, it should be lowercase. Let's see if this time it works. If we try it out, my book, and execute, we can see this time it was able to execute. And if our server side was actually using this book to create one, we could go back and get all of the books again. So this was a tutorial on how to create API documentation for your application using Swagger and JS docs. So hope it helps you out. If you have any questions, please ask, and I'll see you next time.